Well, welcome to 2026. I don't know if it's just me. I can't believe that 2026 is already here upon us. We're in the third day already. If you're in Australia, it's the fourth day already. Welcome, one and all. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you are watching in the world. Good afternoon. Bonjour to Miss Nadine. I see she's watching us from France, so I know we definitely have someone here in the afternoon. I don't know about the evening folks yet. We have plenty of folks here joining us all over the US, Canada, and elsewhere in the morning as well. So if you're watching the replay, tell us where you're watching from. I'd love to hear. Anyway, I had my good friend Tasha from Tasha Quilts. It's really good to see you again. She's up there in the northern part of New York State, freezing to death most likely.
Yeah.
It's not quite as cold down here. I think it's in the high 30s or like 4 degrees centigrade there, but it's good to have you back. I'm going to let her introduce herself because I'll just botch it up and she'll do a much better job at it. So over to you, Tasha. Let us know who you are, where you're from, what you do, and all that good stuff.
Good morning, everybody. Ooh, I got the big screen. I'm Tasha from Tasha Quilts. You can find me across the internet at Tasha Quilts, wherever you look for me, but specifically on YouTube. I am an accountant by day, quilt obsessed by night. I got 2 little kids, and actually, as Sean said, I'm in the middle of a snowstorm and my husband's at work. So you might even hear a little voice pop in asking for a snack because you know how little kids are with their snacks. So I make YouTube videos on my channel about things that I like to sew and how I balance it while being a busy working mom. And that is me.
You and you do a wonderful job at it, and there's a lot of things I like about your channel, and hopefully Nightbot will wake up in just a moment. Anyway,
I
we'll see
feel
what
you,
happens there.
Nightbot. I feel you. I've
I
been
know, yeah.
off this week. I've been enjoying sleeping in and staying up late. I've been playing. I did no sewing and played a ton of video games this week, up late like a teenager. And so today is my back to reality of getting back onto a normal schedule. So me and Nightbot can relate to wanting to sleep in today.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a few seconds to kick in. So there it is. Now it's woken up. It's like, okay, I'm a few minutes late. That's okay. Go get your tardy sleep. Come back, and we'll all be good. So, but it's good to see. But yeah, I think a lot of us have talked behind the scenes, and it's just been a very, very busy December for a lot of us. The holidays are always a busy time with family and friends and work gatherings and that sort of thing there. And yeah, this year especially, I think for me, it's just been nonstop. If you've seen my podcast videos, you've seen just all over the place. We've been to New York. We've been, oh goodness, I'm kind of relieved it's over because now we can kind of just ease back into a sense of normalcy and hopefully get back into some sort of regular routine as well.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the holidays. So let's say good morning to everybody, and then we'll talk about what we're going to work on today. If you have your own channel, please take a moment and put your own channel link in. It should be exclamation point in your first name for the majority of you. If you don't know what your link is, shout out in the chat somewhere, and we'll get you all sorted out. Good morning to Miss Annette. It's good to see you. Tasha, good morning to you. Lori Lee, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It says Happy New Year, Sean and Tasha. Dawn Stewart is here, bonjour, or I'm going to butcher this. We're going to say bonne nouvelle, ami, Sean. My French is horrible. I read it a whole lot better than I can speak it, and I don't read it very well. Let's see. Miss Joyce is here with us as well. Good morning, Miss Lisa from Auckland Quilter, Georgia. She says, I'm actually home and can catch you live. That's excellent. Good morning to Miss Brenda. It's so good to see you again. And let's see, everyone's saying good morning. Good morning, Miss Chloe. Good morning, Miss Candace. Good morning, Miss Melissa. And I know I'm going to miss someone. Watch this. Melanie Taylor, Kathy Dollar, and Miss Nancy. It is good to see each and every one of you. So everyone's saying hi to everybody. Nadine says my French is okay. But Lily always laughs at me every time I try and say something in French. So
Yeah.
French is so neat.
I took French for a couple of years in high school and college, and I think they just took pity upon me because, yeah, I have a mathematical brain, not a language brain, that's for sure.
Yeah, I butcher the Spanish language. I can say a simple phrase in Spanish, and people will look at me down there and go, what are you talking about? And so, yeah, I've given up on Spanish. French, yeah, Lily laughs at me all the time. Italian, I know like 3 words: pizza, linguine, Ferrari. That's about it.
I have a hard enough time with English. I don't explore.
Yeah, German I do okay. German I'm much better at. My pronunciation is halfway decent. I actually do fairly decent at German. I've forgotten a lot of it because it's been 30 some years since my last German class, but we do all right there. So let's see. I see Miss Andy popped in as well, Miss Mary and John from Guys Craft 2. It says, good morning from our quilting retreat. Oh, that's awesome. I forgot you guys were having a retreat. It's a lot of retreats. I think Russ over at Quilt Meets World he went to a retreat recently as well. So yeah, I'll have to go to a retreat one day. We'll have to see. But I have so many friends that have retreats. I'm gonna have to go to like 7 of them. So that way nobody feels left out. So we'll have to save up a lot of money. Anyway, so Tasha, what are you working on? We'll actually get something done in just a minute, I promise.
Yes. Well, first I was going to answer Sweet Granny, who asked where I'm from. I am from Syracuse, New York, the snowiest city in the United States. So that's where I'm at, in the middle of New York. I am actually working on a Halloween work in process I have. We're doing kind of like a little whip challenge. I'm doing a little whip challenge for myself to get as many things done. I have this Halloween ghost block that is so cute and easy to pick up on a Saturday morning when you're not prepared to sew. So yeah, that's what we're doing today.
It's really good to have those easy to pick up and just run with projects. I had one of those last week. That was the puzzle mystery quilt. I love those things because you can just pick it up and 45 minutes later you're done, unless you're on a live and you get distracted by all the shiny things. So yeah, it's always good to have those projects. And then the other one I tend to pick up a lot when I want something simple is the FPP projects I've been doing with Katie. The courthouse steps and the woven stars. There's an example of the woven stars behind me up there with that pretty not yellow ribbon. I don't know if they have yellow ribbons at the fair. Red ribbon. I'll get my colors right there in a minute. Good gravy, Miss Navy. I'm not having a good morning. If you're looking for perfection, I'm sorry you have not found the right place. I hope you'll find what you're looking for in the near future. We just keep it real here on The Guy Who Sews. So there we go.
I'm also going to open this package I got in the mail because I just saw it sitting here and I can't wait to see it. From Paper Pieces. I saw somebody who crocheted the teeniest, tiniest granny squares. I don't know if anybody knows what those are in crochet.
I do.
And I was like, I would love to try to make itty bitty quilt blocks, and I'm probably going to regret this, but I placed an order at like 2 a.m. when I had the impulse, and so we're going to see how itty bitty these really are.
I'm curious now.
I have always been in New York. I live 5 minutes from where I was born.
That's nice. Yeah, Amanda's always lived in this, except when she went to college, she's always lived in the same city as where she was born. And well, no, she was born in another city because I think we had a hospital in this city when she was born, but she's always lived in the same city ever since she came home from the hospital. So there you go. Good morning, Miss Pat. Okay, what am I working on? Geez, I am distracted this morning. I am working on the same project. No, last week we did the puzzle mystery quilt. The week before, I think we worked on the Farm Fresh sample by Artie's Quilting Co. I'm working on a new block. It's going to be chickens in milk cans. I've already done the chicken, and I think this one turned out really nicely. And then right now we're working on the milk can. I don't know if we'll get the milk can done today or not. We'll just have to see how things go, but we're making some decent progress on it so far. I'm also going to make some eggs. Those ones should go together fairly quickly. So that's what I'm working on. That'll be a lot of fun. So how has your Christmas and New Year's been? Did you do anything fun? Did you go anywhere? Or did you stay at home and just hang out?
Yeah, I did something fun. I stayed home. Well, we have been getting blasted with snow. So we were actually in a state of emergency here for a few days. It has been nonstop. So it has been very much stay at home if you can kind of thing. So the kids have been off school and I was off work. So we did a lot of lounging around. My kids are 5 and 8, wanted to try to stay up till midnight on New Year's. Me and the kids made it. The dog and the husband did not make it to midnight. So we did do that. And yeah, we've just been hanging around, and the kids have been enjoying all their Christmas presents and some iPad time. And I've been, we've just been lounging, and I'm a homebody. So this has been a dream. I've been having a great time. How about you?
Well, between Christmas and New Year, I didn't go anywhere. I got to work from home, which is always nice. So yeah, I didn't go anywhere for Christmas. I mean, we've just gone out and seen some light shows here, there, and everywhere. But they're all fairly local, thankfully. But yeah, I mean, I think the last time we went anywhere significant would have been New York, which was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. New York at Christmas time is beautiful, but if you don't like crowds, that is not the place for you. How do I know? Yeah, well, just my goodness, that place was crowded. Yeah.
So I think I made a mistake when I was ordering at 2 a.m. Can you see how small these are?
Oh, it looks wonderful.
I don't know if
How
this
big
is going to happen.
is it? Crochet or is it?
No, these are going to be EPP blocks
Oh goodness.
in theory.
Okay.
They might
I do
get.
remember seeing a very, very small, what I think they call it a pineapple block quilt
Oh, yeah.
at QuiltCon a couple of years ago, and the whole quilt might have been like maybe 10 by 10 by 10 or 12 by 12, and I think it said they had 1,700 or something pieces in there, and I was like, look, I like tiny pieces as much as the next man, but there is no way on this earth that I could see myself wanting to piece something that small that many times. So
I got
more power
diamonds
to anyone
too.
that does it.
I don't even know if you can see it because it matches my skin tone.
It's tiny. It's like half an inch.
These are quarter of an inch no, these are half an inch. Thank God. There's even smaller ones. Thank God. I was like, oh, I won't get the quarter inch. I'll get the half inch. They'll be bigger.
Goodness
Oh my
me.
God. They're so cute though. I wonder if Zaza's ever made anything this small.
I don't know. She's usually floating around somewhere. We'll have to see. I see Fallon's popped in. Good morning to you. And So Blessed by Jess is here with us as well. So it's good to see each and everyone. All the cool kids are here. So we will. Sorry, I am just very, very distracted this morning.
Jess is up early.
Yes.
Oh no,
See.
those were quarter inch hexies. Dang. All right. I did order half inch too. I just went a little crazy. Figured if you're paying for the shipping, get a sample. These are the half inch ones. These are a little bit better.
So my question is, if you have a quarter-inch seam allowance and it's a half-inch hexie, well, I guess it's because it's going.
There's no seam allowance in English paper piecing. You fold it over and then you just kind of grab the edge. So it's by
Oh,
hand.
okay, gotcha. It's like, okay, yeah, well, the
It
quarter-inch
doesn't
on this side,
disappear.
yeah, it's a disappearing block. So
Yeah. Mm.
okay,
We'll
see,
see.
I've never done EPP, so I was like, okay, there's a missing piece of the puzzle here somewhere that I just don't understand. So that makes a lot more sense. Good morning, Debes, the Pug Mum Quilter. It's good to see you. Dawn says she'd need a magnifying glass. Yeah, my eyesight's getting to the point where I need to go.
I just got mine. Magnifying glasses. They're great. Yes,
Yeah.
go to the eye doctor. It'll change your life if you think you're he told me, he's like, I'm sorry, you're 40. It's time for you to wear glasses. And I was like, eh. And then I put them on and I was like, I love my glasses. I'm obsessed with them. I can see again.
Yeah, that's what the doctor told me not last year, the year before, end of 2024. So it hasn't been that long. He's like, yeah, it's time for bifocals. And I'm like, well, thank you, Captain Obvious. You know, I knew that before I walked in here, but thank you so much for telling me that. I do need to get new glasses because my eyesight has changed in the last 14 months. You know, you get to that age and that's what happens. I do have an appointment in the next week or so. So that'll be good. So I'm not super worried about that. Let's see. Raven says she needs to make some coffee. I do too, and I totally forgot about it before I hit the live button. So we'll just have to go without coffee this morning and see how we do. Fallon says, hi, everyone in chat. I just woke up, so I'm trying to get the dog fed and some coffee going in my head. So I'm saying hi to everyone. I do that too sometimes. So if I forget to say hi, I do it mentally. I don't always get around to saying it. So there you go.
I did grab coffee before I came down. I knew.
Yeah, I get distracted a lot. So you've got that. All right, what else we got going on here? We are having a good time. I think we've asked you this question before, but how did you learn how to quilt?
So I had a sewing machine and I had done like a couple of tote bags. And then somebody I knew who was this was back in like 2015, somebody I had worked with many, many years ago had like a little quilting club. And I was like looking to get out of the house. And I was like, I have a sewing machine. I can quilt. What's the big deal? And so I decided to show up to it wasn't a quilting class, it was like a little quilting club, sort of like a mix between a class and a club. They all worked on a project together. And um yeah, and then that was it. Then I was hooked. So I just went and hung out. I kind of learned a lot on YouTube, I think like most of us do.
Yes.
And I haven't stopped. Had to take a little break when the kid, having little babies around doesn't really conducive to anything but survival. And then I
Right.
would say back in like 2021 or 2022 maybe, I kind of got right back into it and I've been obsessed ever since.
And then what enticed you to start a channel? Like, what was the reason behind that? Like, I always love hearing that story because everyone has their own reason for starting a channel, like picking up a camera and going, okay, I'm going to share my adventures with the world.
So I'm a big consumer of YouTube. Like I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and actually surprisingly not. I watch some quilting YouTube videos, but I watch a ton of other YouTube video gaming YouTube, anything. I love watching YouTube. I don't watch television usually. So, and then I loved quilting and I didn't have any quilting friends really. And so my husband can only take so much chatter about quilts before he's like, please, please, I can't listen to this anymore. I mean, he would, he's great, but I could see that I was, not his favorite topic of conversation. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to gab to a camera and see what happens and see if I like it. And I like it. So it kind of stuck around. I figured I would just make a video of me making a quilt. That was my first video, was just the story of a quilt I made. And yeah, and I enjoyed it. So I kept going. Even though no one saw the video, I kept going.
Well, sometimes that's a good thing. Like, I don't know how, well, actually, I do know how many people watched my first video, and yeah, it had a lot to be desired, but I am an introvert at heart. If I did one of those personality tests a few weeks ago and it said I'm 100% introverted, which I was like, well, thank you, Captain Obvious. I knew that before I took the test. The
So why did
girls
you
wanted
start
me.
your channel as an introvert?
Well, my wife likes watching the knitting podcast videos. And these mostly ladies come on and show what they did over the last couple of weeks, and they always got a lot of stuff done. And like I always used to struggle with getting stuff done, and so I figured, you know what, if having a channel helps you get stuff done, then I'm going to give it a try too. And I was also looking around on YouTube for quilting podcasts, and I really wasn't seeing any. So I was like, you know what, let's just start the ball rolling. If I start one, maybe someone else will, and they'll give me something to watch. So yeah, kind of a couple different reasons. Yeah, accountability, and hopefully to start the catalyst to have other podcasts out there to watch there as well. So there you go. Um,
That's awesome.
Good morning, Miss Dawn. I see you've popped in there as well. Fallon says that's why you haven't even seen Christmas Chronicles, Tasha.
I'm
Wild, LOL.
gonna do it someday, Phil, and I promise. She's been telling me how good Christmas Chronicles is, and she's like, "How you haven't seen it? Haven't you watched it?" I'm like, "No, I'm too busy watching whatever."
Is that a movie? I'm going to show my parents right now.
What was that?
Is it a movie or a TV show?
It's like a
Or
Netflix show, I think. She says it's her. I don't know if it's a movie or a show, but she says she loves it, and she says she watches it every year.
oh, okay. Well, I'm surprised Amanda doesn't know about it. I don't know. There you go. Melissa said she thinks she's watched all of my earlier videos. Well, thank you. Thank you for sticking around because, my first ones were, like very, very, I was very nervous. We'll just say it that way. So, Brenda's asking how many cast YouTube on their television. We actually have an analytics on that. It actually tells us, how many do it on the TV, and I think for me it's like 25% or so. Now I'm going to go take a look because now I'm curious.
I have a Roku, so I have the YouTube app on my television, so it makes it super easy. That's why I'm usually watching YouTube. So I bought, I have YouTube Premium because, like I said, I've been watching YouTube a long time. So I have the YouTube Premium, so I don't have ads. So it's like truly watching ad-free TV for me. I just watch it. And I saw Good Morning Dawn, Zalendria.
Yep. So it looks like for my channel over the last 28 days, it looks like it's almost an even split. 31% on the phone, 30.6% on the TV, 21.8% on the tablet, and 16.6% on a computer. So yeah, a lot of folks watch on the TV. So I don't know how it is for your channel, but yeah, it seems a lot of folks do watch on the TV, which is awesome. So, which means I have to start doing my hair or something if that many people are watching
on the big screen.
Also on the big screen.
Oh, it's a movie.
I don't know if they still do, but my niece and nephew used to watch me on watch my podcast on the big TV as well. My sister would send photos of them watching. So,
oh, that's cute.
I think she was watching it mostly, and then they were just watching along. But there you go. Let's see. Brenda says, "Cool. Tried casting from my phone, and the commercial locked it up." Yeah, if you have a Roku, they do have the YouTube app. We use that here as well. It's very, very handy to use. So there you go, Jacqueline. I say it all the time. Sean is one of my favorites. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'm just so honored that so many people show up each week. Like I'm looking at the viewer count, and it's 60, 70, 80 people on a Saturday morning, and I'm always just honored by that because there's so many other places you guys could all be, but each week you all show up to watch me stumble along and just try and do something and try and entertain you folks, and you keep coming back. So I'm doing something right. And for an introvert to be able to do this and do it, successfully, I think but it's all thanks to you guys. Like if you weren't here, I wouldn't be here either. So, Joyce says she watches more YouTube than anything. My son says, "Mom, you have different channels, don't you?" But I think with the YouTube thing, it's like you get what you want. You type in a search and you have what you want. With regular TV, they might have a show that you're interested on, maybe not. So. And it's free. Like, you can pay a little extra to skip the ads and that sort of thing there. I try and limit how many ads I put on my videos as well to try and help everybody out because I know as a viewer, I don't want to watch an ad every 4 minutes. So I try not to do that in my videos either. You should not be.
Oh, go ahead.
If you're watching a live, you should not be seeing ads. If you do, please let me know. I've turned that off, so it shouldn't be a problem.
I also like watching YouTube because it's got the algorithm and it introduces you to new channels or things. Like it knows me so well now of like all the different topics I like to watch. And like it just gave me this like new channel that I hadn't seen. And I've been like binging their videos while I always watch something to go to sleep. And so it's like, oh, I don't even have to think. Just something new pops up.
Yeah, I was watching a new channel yesterday. Her name is Kelly, and is it like the Broken Spindle or something? Let me go find her channel real quick because she is just an absolute hoot. She is a brand new beginner quilter, and she's just taking you all along for the journey. She makes mistakes. She laughs at herself every time she makes a mistake. She has like 37 subscribers right now. There she is. Hang on. Her channel name is The Wonky Needle. I was close.
The Wonky what?
The Wonky Needle. I'm going to throw her link in the chat right now. Go over and say hi. Tell her Sean sent you. She probably won't know who I am. Yeah, her name is Kelly. She's a hoot. I just love her personality. She just laughs at herself every time she makes a mistake. Apparently, she's tried making bookmarks and other sort of things there, and it's just, yeah, she's trying. She's getting better. She says, "Hi, I'm Kelly, your friendly neighborhood sewing disaster in progress." Like, it's just, she's just good people. So you go over and check her out. Hit the subscribe button. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So Kathy Hutchins is saying, question, can anyone suggest a good video to make a pillowcase? I don't have one in mind, but I would just do a search and check out a few different ones. They're usually fairly easy to do. You basically just put a seam on each edge on the open end, and then you just kind of zip around the other way, and then basically you're done. So, yeah, I would just do a search in YouTube, because the one that I would recommend may not be the best one for you. We all learn differently, and that's why I always suggest checking out 4 or 5 different tutorials. I really should do a pillowcase tutorial one day. If you're looking for a cushion cover tutorial, I have one of those that I just put out about 2 weeks ago. But yeah, for a pillowcase, like for a sleeping pillow, that I don't have just yet. So, okay. Yeah, I'll put that on my list to do this year as a pillowcase tutorial. All right, what was I doing before I got distracted? I've been distracted all week.
It's the way it goes.
Yeah. I was covering for a colleague of mine this week. So I know the job well because I did it for 10 years, but I hadn't done it in like 3 or 4 months. So I had to sit there and.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Get a little rusty.
You get a little rusty, and then the way they do it now compared to how I did it's 2 different things too. So I kind of had to stumble my way through the different spreadsheets and stuff like that. So
you got any big sewing projects planned for 2026?
You know what? I was going to do a video about that. I haven't had time to do it. Hopefully I can do it next week, but it might be a case of where I never get it done. I do want to do there are a few projects that I want to do and or plan to do in the new year. First one would be the second Star to the Right, which is the Peter Pan inspired Sew Along by Art East. That will start in April. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And then there's another project that I want to do with them. I have the pattern here already somewhere. Where did you go? Oh, there you are. Come here. This wonderful bear.
Oh, how cute.
And so this is going to be a retirement quilt for one of my colleagues that retired a little sooner than I expected. So I told her she'll get it. Oh, speak of the devil, there he is. John's here from Art East. So good morning. So yeah, I'm doing those 2 projects. I'm going to try and finish up the what's it called? Oh, Mag Quilt Party. This one here, I'm working on that. I'm still cutting out fabric for that one. I need to finish the 100 Acre Woods. I'm trying to get them all done before the April starts. I'm so glad that John gave us a couple extra months to start the new project. So we've got a few of those going on. Yeah, just, I don't know. And then we'll see what other shiny things come up in my world. But that's kind of the things there. And I want to try and actually finish in quilts. I have a lot of quilt tops started. I actually want to get them done, quilted and out the door as well. So that's kind of the big push for 2026 is do a net loss. I'm going to have to go through and count how many projects I have right now. And then at the end of the year, I want to have less because I know we got to have new and shiny things come out. John, I'm looking at you. That I want to start. So I don't want to say, no, I don't want to start anything new because that's just not going to happen. I'm going to start new stuff. But I want to try and have less projects unfinished at the end of 2026 than I started with. I think that's a good goal to start with.
Great goal.
And we'll see how we go from there. Because that way you still have the flexibility to do new and shiny things, but you got to get some of the old stuff knocked out as well. So there we go. All right. right, so let me just throw my affiliate link in. If anyone's interested in the second starter to write, it's a Peter Pan inspired sew along with Art East. You can either purchase the pattern and use your own fabrics, or go ahead and get one of the two kits. There's two different kits available. One's like the difference is the background. The dusk, I think if I get this right, is all series of blues, and then the dawn is a series of like purples and oranges and yellows and other beautiful colors. And that's the one that when I get around to purchasing the kit, which hopefully be the next week or so, will be the one I get, because I like all the beautiful colors there as well. So Joy said she'd like to do Peter Pan. It's just not in her budget. I totally understand that as well. They do have a payment plan, if that helps at all. But I totally understand if you're unable to do it there as well. So let's see. Go team. Okay, Pat says she's go team dusk. I think I'm doing the dawn. Let me go check now. I always get those two confused.
I'm actually going to try. I'm doing one sew along this year, which I'm doing. It's from, her name's Christy from Quiet Play. She's got a flower of the month foundation paper piecing. So I'm just waiting for my background fabric to come in, and then I'm going to start that. I'm pretty excited. And then for my 40th birthday, which was last year, I told myself I was going to make myself an otter quilt. And it's funny, Art East actually has one of the patterns I'm going to buy to get one of the otters. And I'm really going to start that dang otter quilt this year. So I'm just going to I'm not going to do anybody's full quilt. I'm just going to take little otter blocks from a few different designers and make my own quilt up. And I'm like, well, we'll see. That's my dream. We'll see. I'm thinking I can use the same background fabric that I used for the month of the block of the month that I'm doing, the flower one, with my otter quilt. So we're going to see. Cool Treats. Yes, that's the one. They're holding little ice creams.
I have that pattern. It's on my list to do someday as well. So yeah. Maybe we can encourage each other to get that one done.
I just love otters. They're so cute. And there's not that many otter patterns out there. So I was so happy to see one. There's I think Elizabeth Hartman has a pattern that has an otter in it. And then Christy at the Quiet Play had one. So I have like at least 3 otter blocks.
Oh, there you go.
That I can do like multiple.
That sounds awesome.
So I'm excited.
Take a look at that. Fallon says that she's moving soon, so she has not able to do kits right now, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm glad it's you moving and not me. Pamela says, Pamela here, hello, lurking, but Tasha, since you're from Syracuse, have you ever been to Hercules Candy or had any love their YouTube channel?
So that is so funny that you ask. I feel like I just learned about them. And I'm very close to them, like proximity wise, like less than half an hour. I never had heard of them or their YouTube channel until just last month. So it is on my short list of things to do, is to visit the Hercules. They have like 1 million subscribers or something bonkers on YouTube. I don't know if it's 1 million, but it's a lot. And yeah, so I have not been yet. I have had some of their chocolate, which was good. I think I got it as a gift over the years, but yeah, I have not been. I am going to do that.
When you type in Hercules Candy, is the second thing that comes up. They have 1.21 million subscribers.
Yeah,
Good.
I thought so. And I'm like, they're right around the corner, and I never knew they existed. So I'll have to make a trip out there.
Yeah, I'll have to go check that website and see what they have. So for anyone that doesn't know what Hercules Candy is, which includes myself, they have a YouTube channel. I'm trying to get into the chat right now. So there you go. Good morning, Amanda from Stitching Life Together. It's so good to see you as well. Hey, Heather, it's good to see you there as well. Did I miss anyone? Oh, Miss Donna popped in as well from Handmade by Ying. So it's always good to see you. If you haven't seen her channel, well, I think pretty much everyone knows who Donna is. I mean, she's like just famous around this place. So yeah, she does a lot of wonderful videos. She's live usually on a Sunday morning, Friday night, Monday, if I remember correctly, as well. So yeah, lots of opportunity to check her out. She does a lot of FPP. If you want someone that knows their legit kits forwards, backwards, and sideways, she is your lady. Anytime I have any questions about legit kits, I'm on my phone texting her going, Donna, help, please. Yeah, definitely go check her out. Speaking of legit kits, Tasha, how are you doing of yours? It's okay if you haven't shown it much love recently.
That's on my whip list. See, it's the year. See, I have a very similar thing where I want to finish like with less whips, and that one is at the top of the list. I'm looking at it. I pulled the box out and it's towards the top. So I'm gonna, it has not gotten any love whatsoever. None, zero. It's collecting dust right now. So
That's okay.
we'll
There is
get
no
there.
judgment. There is no judgment here. Sometimes you need to put stuff away. You need to put it in timeout. You need to work. You need to work on what brings you joy. So
That's
if you
what's
need,
happening. It's
yeah,
just chasing the dopamine, as I like to say.
because like this project that I'm working on right now, it got put to the side for a long time, like probably 8 or 9 months. I didn't touch it, and then last week I was thinking to myself, okay, what am I get? 2 weeks ago, I was thinking to myself, okay, what am I going to do for my live this weekend? And I was like, you know what, I haven't done this project in a while. Let me pull out the pattern for it, and we'll cut out the next block and see how we go. And I'm really enjoying it again. So sometimes you just need to put stuff away, work on what brings you joy at that particular moment, and then just come back to it. And there's no shame, there's no anything about doing that. Donna's asking, what kit are you working on?
Skulliver.
You bought two of them, didn't you?
I did.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Bad
throw you under the
impulse
bus
buy.
there.
I have the Skulliver, and then I have the one with mushrooms on it. The mushrooms one hasn't come out of the box yet, but they're getting done. Impulse buy.
That's
It was like their Black
I mean,
Friday sale Black Fridays ago.
I bought the pattern for Toasty in 2022, I think it was, or maybe it was 2023. And I didn't even stitch the first thing on that until this time last year. So, I mean, it sat in my box for probably almost 2 years before I opened it up. I came very close to just selling it or giving it away. And then
Yeah.
someone encouraged me to actually start it again. So I did work on mine last night a little bit. I got 2 little sections done. So that means another block. Well, once I sew them all together, another block will be done. So I think I've done 21 out of the 56 blocks. So
wow.
about a third of the way home.
You're cruising.
I told my work mom who it's going to eventually. I told her it's going to take me 4 years to put it together. So don't expect it anytime soon.
But
She thought I
that's
was
like,
joking.
I think we can all get into I think we can all relate in every area, quilting, life, where like it's so easy to like collect things. And then because it's like collecting projects and doing projects are two different habits. And I think it is like striking that balance, right? Like if you bought it, you should sew it, maybe put it away and bring it back to you when it gets joy, and then still leaving space for those like shiny new things. But yeah, I got to use some of the stuff I've collected. It's very easy to over collect.
Mm-hmm. But I've done that a few times where I've put stuff away for different reasons. Like, yeah, it's not bringing me joy right now. There was another project though, like earlier in my sewing journey, where I bought this bear paw quilt and I tried putting that thing together and it was not gelling. It wasn't coming together right. I had to put it aside. And then I did some other projects and built my skills up and came back to it. Bang, it just went together really quickly. So sometimes if it's becoming overwhelming, put it aside, go work on something else. And then if you come back 6 months later, 12 months later, or like I did 3 years later, you'll be fine. Yeah, it'll just gel. You'll have that skill set and you'll know what to do. Because I just struggled with half square triangles at the beginning. And when I came back to it a few years later, it was just so much easier. So this is one of my little eggs.
Oh, nice. I just saw somebody write I have way more, the debt-free quilter said, I have way more PNSs. I love that. Projects not started, then whips. So that is so funny you say that, because like I really do have like probably just as many kits or projects or patterns I bought that I haven't started. Yeah, that would be a scary. I got to take an inventory of all of the crap I have in here and figure out what I'm doing with it. And Donna, I did have a plan to do 1 block a month in 2025. That didn't go well. Maybe I'll actually get my stuff together and do 1 block of my Skulliver a month in 2026. I only have the small one too. So
Yeah, mine's a full-size quilt. Oh, that's what I was going to say. What was it, 2 or 3 years ago? It must have been 2022. Because I gave the quilt to Lorenzo in 2023. I had like 5 or 6 kits that I bought from Craftsy, and that was my goal for that particular year, was to finish all those quilts, because some of them were not opened, some of them were halfway done, and I missed that deadline by 12 hours. So, you know, but sometimes
that counts.
it counts. It's close enough. You know, I wanted to get them done. I wanted the quilts to be done by the end of the year. I was very, very close. So, you know, sometimes if you just set yourself a loose goal, a net loss, or you have, so many kits, say, okay, if you have 50 kits, don't say, oh, I'm going to finish them all in a year, unless, you know, that's all you got to do. You might want to say, okay, well, I'm going to do 1 a month. I want to have 38 kits by the time at the end of the year. You know, just set yourself a little goal that is doable. If you want to reach for the stars, reach for the stars, but don't kill yourself trying to do something that's not realistic, is what I'm trying to say here. Dawn says, hey, Tasha, there's a Google spreadsheet for that.
Dawn made one.
Yeah, I love me a spreadsheet too, so I totally get that. So,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, Heather says you cut it close, but no one's going to get not pick over 12 hours. Yeah, I mean, to me, it was close enough. I mean, I was racing along. I was trying to get it finished by midnight. I even hopped on a live with Donna that night to try and finish it. And you know what? It didn't quite get there, but we got there close enough. And I'm more than ecstatic about that there as well. So let's see. Does anyone else in your family quilt, craft, or anything else like that?
My mom sews. Well, she used to like sew all of her own scrub tops, and she made some of our clothes when I was a kid, but she doesn't really sew anymore. She hasn't really sewn since probably I was a little kid that I can recall. My stepmom's pretty crafty. She does like a lot of stained glass, and I think both my mom's crocheting right now, and my dad's like a woodworker. Like he does a lot of, like, he's made some mirrors, and I'm sure there's some stuff around here that they've made, but no quilters, that's for sure. Yeah, how about you?
Mike, yeah, I mean, it actually sounds like you kind of hit my family on the head too. My dad did a lot of stained glass windows and stained glass items. Windows over the years. He also did a little bit of like painted little flowers and stuff. And well, goodbye, John. It's good to see you there for a little while. He says he has to duck out. My brother was a wonderful artist. He was a brilliant stonemason. Mate, that guy could carve pretty much anything you wanted into a piece of sandstone. My sister quilts a little bit. Yeah, my mom sewed. She kind of like embellished towels and that sort of thing there. But yeah, we all did something. Our family was always big about encouraging each other to do some sort of art, whether it was with fabric or paper or paint or whatever you wanted to do, but or glass, yeah, that sort of thing there as well. So yeah, we were always encouraged to do some sort of artwork. We were actually sent to some art classes just to try out different things as kids, just to see what we'd like to do there as well. So Dawn says stained glass and quilting your cousins of a sort. I totally actually is a lady, and I cannot remember her name. who actually does stained glass windows or stained glass panels in the shapes of quilt blocks. It's called Little Glass Quilts. I'll go find her name now. I had her on my channel a few years ago, and she was also part of one of my trunk shows as well. Little Glass Quilts, here it is. I just cannot remember her name now. I'm terrible. Anyway, I'll show her. She sells the blocks, at least she used to.
My stepmom actually, one of the first quilt I designed and made myself, she made me a stained glass version of it, which was super cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then what was it? I think she was telling me when I was Erica, thank you. Donna, she remembers. See, Donna knows everything. It's always nice, it's almost like having a little encyclopedia with you and Donna's around. So which is always a good thing to have, because I'm terrible with names. I do better here on YouTube than anywhere else. But yeah, she does a wonderful job. And she was actually telling us that the red glass for stained glass windows, my dad always told me that it was the most expensive color. And apparently one of the reasons behind that is that they actually put one of the ingredients in red stained glass is gold.
Oh, really?
Part of the chemical reaction is that they actually have gold inside red glass, and that's why it's one of the reasons it's so expensive, especially with how expensive gold is these days. It's what, $2,000 an ounce or something ridiculous like that. So yeah, Donna has a master list. Yes, I am just horrible with names. So I'm so glad that someone was able to, and Donna was able to help me out there as well. So there you go. Kathy says, good morning, Sean. My mom sewed garments and taught me about self-expression through wardrobe. Yeah, I admire folks that can do, that can make their own clothes. I don't really have much of a desire to do it. I'd like to try I keep talking about doing a quilted sweatshirt or something for QuiltCon. That door is rapidly closing because QuiltCon's in 6 weeks, and I haven't started one yet. So I guess we'll just have to say next time. But that's okay. She also says her partner and her brother do woodworking. I love people do woodworking. To me, is just fascinating. I don't know that I could ever do it, or have. I had to go buy a lot of stuff for that to work. But I do love seeing what people come up with woodworking. Both of my seam rippers are made by woodworkers as well. So Amanda said she'd like to try different mediums. Did a stained glass class a few years ago. It was amazing. Next on my list is wood turning. Muriel says my dad made all of our furniture. My mother made all of our clothes and household things. Oh, that is awesome. And Susan, the quirky hand quilter, says, as soon as I wake up a little more, I'll go back to my hand quilting. They're very nice. Good morning, Miss Nikki. It's so good to see you. Fallon says she has a sort of mental block of names. Someone can look me in the face and introduce themselves, and the name is gone before the end of the first sentence said. Yeah, that happens to me all the time when I'm talking to someone on the phone. They'll be like, hey, I'm so-and-so from such and such a company. And I'll have to ask them, 20 seconds later, sorry, what was your name again?
Who are you again?
I'm just at a point in my life where if I don't remember a name, I just tell people, hey, look, I am terrible at names.
Tell me again.
Oh, there we go. Now I came back. So, and if you tell people that 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, oh, no problem. I am bad with names too. We all think that we're the only person with that affliction. I can guarantee you, if you ask 10 people that, they'll tell you it's more common than you think it is. So there you go. Amanda's husband does woodworking. Dawn says Rose City Originals makes a lot of his own shirts, and they're the button-up collar style, and he makes a lot of the shirts. It still takes him about 8 hours for a shirt. I'd love to be able to do that. Yeah, that'd be fun. And I think Stephen, the idiot quilter, his husband Walter makes a lot of the shirts that the pair of them wear. So yeah, there's some wonderful clothes makers out there that do that sort of stuff there. Oh, speaking of which, Leanne from Mennonite Farmhouse says she makes her own dresses and it takes me a good 9 hours to sew a dress. Yeah, it takes some time. The only dress I ever made, well, I've made some pillowcase dresses in the past, but the only dress I ever made was actually with Donna. She taught me how to make a dress, a little dress for a girl, and I actually entered that into a state fair a couple of years ago and got second place. So thank you for that. What was I going to say? Sweet Granny was asking, where do I get all my quilting t-shirts? Well, they come from various places. This one here, I think, was on Amazon. There's a lot of them I get from Goldie
something.
Goldie something. Oh, geez, what is it now? Goldie Lou's. Yeah, they're a small business out of, I want to say, Michigan. They do a lot of quilt shows. They have some wonderful designs. They are suitable for both gents and the ladies. I love that more and more folks are doing quilting shirts for the guys, because when I first started looking, there was very, very little. It didn't have flowers and that sort of thing there as well. Etsy is another wonderful resource for t-shirts. If you go and type in quilting t-shirt on Etsy, you'll find hundreds of different designers on there as well, and they come up with some really good designs. So yeah, I would say Goldie Lou's is a wonderful resource. Etsy, and then good old Amazon does some good stuff there as well. So and then check out the other t-shirt sites like Woot, that sort of thing there as well. There's some wonderful artists on Woot that can do it there. So there you go. Let's see. Nikki says her husband hears the name and then calls him by the wrong name after that every single time. Susan says, I grew up sewing clothes, make clothes for my kids and granddaughter too. That is awesome. I love that you can all sew clothes. I might have to do some more clothes sewing at some point in the future, but it's just not something I plan on doing right this minute. Let me grab, oh, there we go. That one. All right, Mr. O, where are you, O? These projects have so many.
You could always applique a quilt block onto a sweatshirt for QuiltCon. It's very quick.
Yeah, you know what? That might not be a bad idea. That might be the way to go.
I did that with one of my sweatshirts. I just bought a plain black sweatshirt off somewhere and doctored it up.
I really like that idea. Because that I could knock out pretty quickly.
Yep.
It's not funny.
Much lower commitment.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw quilted sweatshirts at a crafts fair a few months ago, and I was like, I really need to give that a try, and haven't got around to it yet, but I have to go out to the store anyway later today, and that might be a good thing for me to pick up. And then I'll have to find a block for me to put on there. That won't take me forever. Because my problem too is you give me a little challenge like that, and I tend to go find the most complicated thing in the world for me to play with. So
yeah, but you can make up even the most complicated block. I have faith that you can get done in 6 weeks.
Yeah, I'll get it done the night before. I am the king of doing things last minute.
Always my joke. If it wasn't for the last minute, I'd get nothing done.
Like, it got scary for the state fair quilt last year. I had to drive it up Saturday morning right after my live. I was still hand stitching the pocket, the hanging pocket on my live. My goodness, yes, it was intense. That was a little too close for comfort. So Katie's Nick says Woot has a cute sewing shirt that says Betsy Ross Sewing Shop and has a cool design. Yeah, Woot has some fun stuff. There are some wonderful designers on Woot. If you're not sure what Woot is, it's a a website that I think is now owned by Amazon, but basically it's a selling place. It's kind of like Etsy, but more for graphic design artists that they can sell their own designs on t-shirts. It's print on demand, and that sort of thing there. I have a buddy of mine who actually designed my logo for the channel. He sells a few shirts on there, nothing for quilting, unfortunately. But he has some fun designs on there. So yeah, definitely check that out there as well. So it's always a good option there as well.
I've never
Pat,
heard of that.
yeah, Pat Wainwright says both grandmothers were quilters. My mother sewed quilts, made a D and M. And then that says I grew up making my own clothes also, and some for the kids and grandkids. And let's see, Donnell says, hey to everyone in the chat, fixing breakfast for the pups. They're just listening. Oh, there's something.
Made my first mistake of the day.
Okay, I've made it. Well, I'm missing some fabric, but that's okay.
I don't know where my tape is to tape my paper. So we might just live on the wild side and see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my fabric.
Turns out green is not pink. Wrong fabric choice.
Is it a design feature now?
That would be a little obvious. I used the background fabric instead of the ghosty fabric. Oh, we got a nice big.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Annette. She did a $10 super chat. She said, Happy New Year. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Oh, Amanda's comment. That's the one I was going to comment on there as well. She says, I've seen where people have made a fabric string and replaced what came in the hoodie. Oh, that's a fun idea. And then someone said I could also do a t-shirt, quilted t-shirt as well. So yeah, I'm going to have to sit there and play a bit. We'll have to see what the weather's like. You know, maybe we'll leave it to the week before, see what the weather's like, and then we'll see what we go attach the quilt block to. Good morning, Miss Laurie. It's good to see you. All right, now I've got to find some more fabric because apparently I didn't cut or have lost or have misplaced some of the fabric. What time is it? Oh, it's almost 9. Time always flies you when you're having fun. I just love this fabric. It's a gray. It almost looks like metal.
Ooh, I like it.
Hang on, I just found it. I have to cut it now. That's good.
It's always scary ripping my foundation paper piecing. I usually tape it, but I think the tape got stolen for Christmas present wrapping. Gotta find it, but I did it successfully.
Yeah, I've actually had good luck ripping out FPP. I usually get one good chance because I do a 1.5 millimeter stitch length.
That's what I
and
had.
The paper, yeah, and for the paper that's on the legit kits, I can usually get it out once, guilt-free. I haven't tried it twice because I figured it looks like if you try it a second time, it ain't going to work so well.
Yeah, if you scotch tape it, you can press scotch tape. So usually if I'm seam ripping, I just tape over the paper and then seam rip in between the fabric, and it's fine. I've done it multiple times.
I've actually found that I've had to do it a whole lot less ever since I started doing the freezer paper method for doing the cutting out each block. It takes longer, but I found there's less mistakes. I'm not wasting as much fabric because I'm cutting out pretty much what I need.
I want to try. There's lots of videos going around where, at least I saw them on like TikTok or something, where you don't actually sew through the paper either. You just fold it back over and sew along this edge of the paper, so you never have to rip out the font. Like,
I know. Yeah.
So I want to try that.
Yeah, I would have done that for Toasty, but I'd already started it, and I was like, okay, if you go off just by a little bit, like how it shows you, I was like, I don't know how it's going to affect the final product.
That's agreed. Like every project I have is mid, and I'm like, I'm going to start when I do a fresh project.
Yeah, I would definitely be interested in trying that on a new project, but I was like, yeah, knowing my luck, it'll be off by a 32nd of an inch, and you multiply that by 75 times, it's going to not work out so well for me. So, but yeah, I've seen that too, and it looks very, very interesting. And not having to rip out all the paper at the end would be fantastic. Heather said she tried the freezer paper method once and she hated it. That's okay. It's not for everyone. As I said, it does take a lot longer. I will not lie about that, but I'm not having to sit there and fear, am I going to run out of fabric?
Right.
It's kind of just, to me, what the prep is a lot. Trying to prep it out, you got to cut out the piece. Yeah, you got to trace it onto the paper, and then you got to cut out the paper, and then you have to iron it onto the fabric, and then you got to cut it out and all that. So it's a lot of prep work. Experience at FPP is just whips through. They can just eyeball and that sort of thing there. And maybe I'll get to a point in my life where I can do that too. But for right now, I need that crutch, and it's helping out immensely. So.
Oh, so I bought this pattern, and it was one of her first patterns that she ever wrote, and she had sent out a correction, and I never reprinted it. And I think I just found where her correction needed to be. Can I do this without ripping it out? I even thought to myself this morning, I should have checked where the correction was. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to make it work.
Is it a printed pattern or a PDF?
It was a PDF, but I had already printed it on like the FPP paper that I like, so I didn't want to.
Oh, that's right.
Or I could it's not that I didn't want to, I just didn't get around to.
Discover those things too late.
Nope, I do not think I can.
All right. So we got that. Where did that go? Right there. Okay. Yes, I talked to myself a lot if you haven't already figured that out. So, Taylor says some people have said chosen method and more power to them. Yeah, we all do things different ways. Some people love one way, some people don't. I mean, you do what works. Yeah, definitely do what works for you. As I said, it's helping me out immensely. It's actually given me the confidence to get more progress done. It's definitely slower, but it works for me right now. Will I do it forever? Probably not. I'll probably get to a point where I'm confident enough to do it without it, and it'll save me some time. But it's kind of like when you start off with a bicycle, you start off with training wheels, and after a while, you can kick those things off and just ride down the road with 2 wheels instead of 4. So,
Yep.
All right. So, what would you say would be your favorite thing about quilting? Like, what part of the process is your favorite?
What part of the process is my favorite? I would have to say that one, like, well, it depends. So if I'm like designing something, like I think like designing it is my favorite, like getting in Adobe Illustrator and designing and crafting something up. But I don't always design every quilt I make, obviously. And then if it's a quilt that I like somebody else's quilt that I'm making, I love the piecing. The piecing is by far my favorite part of it. It's so relaxing, and
Yeah.
I basically do all the art of quilting just so that I can piece things. And I have to do everything else if I want to piece things. So, how about you?
I think piecing is probably my favorite too. I don't mind cutting. I know a lot of people don't like cutting. I don't mind it. I just put on a video or a movie or something that I've seen before and just take my time with it.
Yeah.
If I didn't like cutting, I'd be in trouble because these artist projects that I love to do involve a lot of cutting. So I'd be in a lot of trouble. Nikki says picking the fabrics for quilts and piecing. Yeah, I enjoy it too. I like digging through my own stash and finding all the fabrics for it. And I've been very successful at that the last couple of years, except for the background fabrics. I don't keep bolts and bolts and bolts of fabric here. I probably should. But
I know.
but for the everything else, yeah, I usually have enough scraps and that sort of thing there, or some description that I can pretty much put everything together unless I need a huge amount of stuff from stash there as well. So yeah, picking out the stuff's always a lot of fun. I do enjoy that a lot. So what about least favorite?
So I used to say I honestly, I think quilting is my least favorite part of it because it's so
Okay.
hard for me, right? If it's a smaller project, I like doing it, but quilting big quilts, um, it's tough getting it through the machine and making it look good, and I find it to be stressful. Um, but it's growing on me, I'll say. But yeah, I would definitely say my least favorite is quilting. How about you?
Making a quilt sandwich, I dislike that with a passion.
Mm, yeah.
I'll do a lot of things to not have to do that.
I know that's the
Yeah,
appeal of a long arm is you never have to make a quilt sandwich again, but it's just, you know, where do you put it? And some of them
yeah,
are not cheap.
yeah. I don't have the. I'd have to kick out one or both of my kids, and they like their rooms, so I don't think that's going to be an option. And I don't have the money for one either. And I figure if it comes down to it, I can send out a lot of quilts and support a lot of small businesses and let them do the work.
I
So
agree.
I don't see myself buying one. I just don't see the
Me neither.
for me.
Long arm
Yeah,
is how I'll get around that.
maybe when I retire one day and I can quilt all the time, then yeah, maybe getting a long arm would be beneficial. But I think at this point in time, and who knows, you might come up back in 5 years and go, Sean, you said you'd never get a long arm, and now you've had it for 4 years.
All the ladies in my quilt guild are like, you should get one now. You're so young. You'll have so much more time with it. You know, like if you wait until you're retired, you have less time with it. So they're really getting in my brain, but
Yeah,
I don't finish enough quilt tops in a year right now to justify even the learning curve. Like if to learn a new on top of all those other factors we talked about, like then it's a new machine, you have to learn it, whatever. And it's like, I'm short on time. That's just not
yeah,
where it's gonna be for me right now.
yeah. I think I'd
Susan,
rather just bundle it up and just send it to somebody and go, hey, take care of it off me. Let me know what the bill is.
I was just looking at the chat and I don't think I've seen your name before. Susan, the quirky hand quilter. I love
I love
that
that name.
name. She says trimming. Okay. I also trimming I might despise a smidge more than quilting. Trimming. Yeah.
Do you have these wonderful tools?
I don't. I need to get them. I have this one for the foundation paper piecing,
Yeah,
but I don't have
I,
those.
yeah. These are the trim locks by Fallon over at Sobe Quilts. There's a whole set of them.
Mhm.
They go from 2 inches all the way up to 6.5, I think it is. You can buy them individually or you can buy the whole set. It is an investment, but if you do a lot of trimming, they're well worth it.
I need to do
Yeah,
that.
I don't use them as much as I should. I'm kind of like naughty when it comes to trimming stuff up. I just go, if it's close enough, it's good enough. But when I do need to trim something up, if it's the right size, they come in super, super handy. So if you have a birthday coming up or something like that, you can always tell your family or husband or whatever, hey,
Yeah, that's
this
a
is a
good
good
point.
option for you. So
That's a good
they do
point.
make it a lot easier because you just kind of just put it down, you trim, you spin, you trim, and you can trim a block in like 12 seconds.
I like the sound of
So
that.
yeah, something to think about there. Amanda says she's thinking about getting a long arm and an embroidery machine so I can start selling projects. That sounds good. Yeah, there's a lot of successful um, long arm businesses out there.
I like the idea of an embroidery machine too. That is the one thing. Like, I do think that at first I was like, oh, I'm going to save up for a long arm. But now I do think I'm going to try to get an entry level embroidery machine. I mean, nothing crazy, just to see if I like it, because I do love the idea of like being able to sew or quilt a small project and then embroider it for, to embellish it. And then to your point, like with an embroidery machine, if you ever did want to like do craft fairs or something, there's just so many options for that kind of thing. I do really embroidery. I've had that itch for quite a while now. I've been searching marketplace for embroidery machines for a while. Every time I get on there, I'm like embroidery machine, embroidery machine.
Yeah, I've looked into that too because, like, I think it'd be nice to have one that would. I'd do it primarily for like making custom quilt labels.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of that's what I'd want to do. Like, I don't know that I really want to sit there and put, embroidery flowers or anything else like that. That's not me. But I think doing it. But then I was like, again, the same thing. How much would it cost me to get a good machine that's going to do the job versus how much can I just pay Donnell? Because she makes beautiful quilt labels. I got one
Oh,
from her, and she didn't charge me a whole lot. I think it was like $15 or something like that for the label, shipped all the way from Michigan. So I was like, okay, well, I could go out and spend $500-600 on a machine, or could I just pay her to do
yeah.
it? You know, 30 times. I don't know. We'll have to sit there and do the math someday.
When I got married, oh, which it feels like a lifetime ago now, somebody went off my registry and found like the towels we registered for and then bought them and embroidered them. I'm down to one. I have one left. It's been like 10 years.
Yeah.
I just thought that was such a nice gift. Like, and it probably now what I know probably didn't take them a whole lot of time, but of course, like I really was like super appreciative and obviously made an impact. Someone was like, "Man, just like being able to take something you buy and like personalize it and give it as a gift." I love a good personalized gift.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's a little personal touch that makes the world of difference there as well. Dawn says her local library has a embroidery machine people can use. Grant thinks I want one, and I'm not all about another hobby. Yeah, that's another reason I haven't started cross stitch or embroidery or anything else like that. I don't know. If the right deal comes along for a machine, I wouldn't be against it, but
Yeah, that's why I keep searching marketplace because I'm like, you just never know what you're gonna find. Like somebody's getting rid of something or downsizing, and you just never know. You can get yourself. I'm on a
yeah,
I love a
I
good deal.
almost
So
I almost got an embroidery machine about 7 or 8 years ago because when I bought the Benina machine, one of my coworkers came to me like no kidding, like 2 or 3 weeks later, and she was like, "Would you like to buy an embroidery machine, like a combination embroidery machine off me?" I'm like, if you'd asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have said yes. But I just spent all my money on the Benina, so no. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe one day.
yeah, it's all fun to think about and research. You got to like when you start thinking about it, you got to start researching it so then when you get a good deal. So like it just takes me a long time to, like if you search enough things on marketplace, then you know what the going rate is and then when you see a good find, you know it.
Yeah. I think I did do that. Okay. Let me stop.
Oh, Amanda's asking if anyone has ever made one of the jelly roll rugs. I want to try that. I haven't, but I have a jelly roll that I would think I want to make into a rug, but I have not made the actual rug yet. I think that would be fun
Uh,
though.
Heather, if you're still floating around, I think Donna over at Handmade by Ying did one of those a while back on one of her lives.
Good morning, Linda.
Yeah, good morning, Linda. It's good to see you. I saw you mention us just a few moments ago. She said she was running a little late, but she's here now. Want to say hi and hit that thumbs up button. So thank you for
Oh,
that. Yeah, if you are enjoying the content, please hit that like button. It does help us out immensely. So
good
John
morning.
says he has to duck off and get some more coffee. Have a good day. Well, thank you for joining us, and I hope the retreat goes well.
Good morning,
Yeah, no,
Mona.
I have not tried the jelly roll rugs, but yeah, I want to say Donna did that. What did
Oh,
one of the? It might not have been the rug, but
yeah.
it might have been one of the bowls or something like that. But it's the same basic construction. As
Yeah,
that.
there's a
So
lot of different options out there for that. The bowls and the
yeah,
rugs. I think a rug would be cool.
yeah,
Nikki
it's
says,
very
I have a
healthy.
brother simplicity and it does embroidery, very small embroidery, but it's cute. I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah, I might have to look at those when I go to the quilt show next month. It's crazy to think that the QuiltCon and the Mid Atlantic Show are all next month.
I know I really wanted to get to cool. I'm still hoping that they're for a miracle, but the snow we've been getting, we have just been absolutely slammed. My husband has been working nonstop, and it's the week my kids are off school. So, like, I just don't even, unless like this winter decides to chill, there's just no way he's going to be able to take time off work to hang out with the kids.
I understand that. And that's always like one thing I fear about. Well, it's unlikely to happen, but if it was to snow like down there before, like on the Friday, because my plan is to drive down for the day on Saturday, because I'm only like 2.5 hours from Raleigh, so I'm not going to drive down there, stay overnight, and that sort of thing there. So, yeah, if the weather looks bad that Friday night, then that would be the reason I wouldn't go. But last time it was like 55, 60 degrees. It was a really nice day. So, kind of hoping for the same thing this go around.
Somebody mentioned to me that there's an AQS show? God, I don't know where it is this year in April. But it was only 4 hours from me. AQS April.
I think it's in Pennsylvania somewhere.
No, I think that one's late in the fall, usually. This one was like, it's the New England one in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
April 8th through 11th. So I might just duck out and go Friday after I get the kids on the bus. Because April, my husband will be able to get out of, like, be able to manage his work and the children.
In Hartford, Connecticut.
I might duck out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little far from me. I want to go.
How far are you?
For me to Connecticut would be a good probably 9 or 10 hours.
Oh, it's 4 for me. I will still stay the night there, but mom's night out. But I did book a hotel room. I don't know if I'm gonna go, but I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get a hotel room that's close by. Just in case I want to go, because I'm likely gonna miss it on QuiltCon, and it makes me very sad.
Yeah, the only reason I'm going is this close. Yeah, it's within driving distance. You know, I'm
a bigger commitment for me. Yeah, it's like a 12-hour drive or a flight.
Yeah, I'm very, very fortunate that I'm close enough to several big shows. So, like, I'd love to go to Houston one day, but every time I look at the airline ticket prices, I just
cringe.
I just cry, because I could actually do that in a day, and I would, because I could take a flight out of here at 6:30 in the morning, get down there at 8:30, be at the quilt show when it opened, and then duck out at like 4 o'clock to go back to the airport and take the 7 p.m. flight home. Like, I've done the research, but every time I see the flight price is $750, $800, I'm like, no.
Fallon says she can't do the crowds. I struggle with crowds too. I did go to the Road to VA Quilt Show, and well, Sean did say that was a better, more spacious show. That didn't seem to bother me too terribly, but I do worry about crowds. I can't.
You don't have to worry about the crowds too much at these shows, because they really, sometimes the vendor areas can get crazy. Like but in the quilt areas themselves, like QuiltCon, Mid-Atlantic, Road to Virginia, that sort of thing there, the quilt areas themselves, well, QuiltCon not so much. They kind of crammed all the quilts into such a small area, and I hope they fix that this year, because, yeah, that was intense. It was very close to each other. But yeah, everything else was real. Like, the vendor area at QuiltCon was fantastic. It was nice and spacious, kind of like it was at Road to Virginia. Mid-Atlantic's gotten better about that as well. So yeah, even if you don't like crowds, this quilt shows generally aren't terrible. And if you are worried about crowds, go in the afternoon. Because like I went up to Mid-Atlantic a couple of years ago, and I got there at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday, and every woman and their brother was there. And then I was like, oh, good gravy, this is nuts. And then I was talking to a friend of mine. We were walking around talking, and about an hour and a half later, like 3 o'clock, we look around, and it's like a ghost town. Like, everybody disappeared. Like, they all showed up at 10 o'clock. They did their shopping. They looked at the quilts, and they all disappeared. So if you don't like crowds, yeah, go to second half of the day. You might have to deal with some crowds a little bit at the beginning of the day, but it will start to thin out. And I've noticed that at pretty much every show I've been to, as the afternoon goes on, people start to disappear, and by about 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, they're all gone. And you'll have the place pretty much to yourself. You can, swing a baseball bat around and not hit anybody. So,
no, that's nice.
Yeah, there you go. Margie says Southwest is the best line to come to Houston. I might have one stop. Get on the email list to get low fare alerts. Yes, I love Southwest. United has a non-stop flight for me, so I was trying to do if I was to go, I would like to do the non-stop route, because It's just easier. But then again, it's a lot of money, and I can buy a lot of fabric for $750. So maybe one day, I don't know, if someone wants to, if one of the airlines wants to sponsor me, or if Houston wants to sponsor me and say, hey, we'll pay your travel expenses, please contact me. But otherwise, I don't know. Maybe one day we'll have to see. Muriel says she's only been to 2 quilt shows. One time with my grandmother when I was 7 years old, and then in Detroit at the Cobo Arena with my sister. Okay, very nice. So, oh yeah, Susan says one of the guilds I belong to is having a quilt show this spring. It's too bad QuiltCon is so far away this year. It's the lodging that is a break from my pocketbook. Hey, I totally understand it. So, yeah, I was just thinking about that. The big guild in this area has a quilt show every other year. So it'll be this June. I get to go see that one as well. That's a lot of fun. It's smaller, but it's very, very nice. I really enjoyed that one there as well. So did I actually get anything done? I did. Sitting here, all I've done today is talk, I feel like.
I got this done, and now I'm playing with my little tiny paper piecing pieces.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so this is going to be part of a milk can. I just got to assemble the top of it. There's this piece, and then there'll be a couple of others. So you'll have to come back tomorrow and see the completed milk can. So, I made these 3 eggs. They're all brown eggs.
Brown eggs are the best.
Brown eggs are the best. Aren't they all the same, just a different color shell based on the
Yeah, but my chickens lay brown eggs, so that's why they're the best.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is all scraps from and it's all ombre fabric, the brown, from a bear paw quilt that I did years and years and years ago, which I want to try and quilt this year. So Nikki says she thought about driving to Houston. It'd be a long drive, but I could do it. Yeah, Houston's a little far for me to drive. I think it'd be like 23 hours of driving, I think. Let's go see. How far would it be for me to drive there?
I'm very lucky that a lot of local quilt guilds here do shows. So like I can go to like 3 little shows a year, which are fantastic. They have usually a few vendors, and then like the guilds quilt, and then like sometimes they'll have bake sales, like everybody's baking stuff at home and bringing it in, or other little funky sales. So even if you're not in a quilt guild, see if you can find some local quilt guilds and see if they do shows, because they're fun, and they're right in your community, and you can, you pay a little admission fee to get in, and you're supporting the local quilt industry.
Not expensive. I mean, I think I paid $7 or $8 or something to get in last time, and it was a cute little show. They had some really nice quilts. It was inside a private school. It was all inside the basketball court or the gym, or whatever you want to call it. And
a lot of them are at schools, some are at churches. Definitely keep an eye out. Yeah, you might have to look for it, because a lot of local quilt guilds, some of them are older population. They're not always super savvy on Facebook and advertising, but if you go seek it out, our quilt guild relies on like signs on roads still as a primary form of advertising, so they might be a little harder to find, but they're super fun.
Go look on Facebook. Even a lot of folks use Facebook, and they do Facebook groups and stuff like that. So look for the guilds and that sort of thing. That's a really good option there as well. So there you go. All right, Twisted Nerves, welcome. She says, there we go. Subscribe to you both. Followed some breadcrumbs here that Deb S left for us. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Deb S, for sending it over this way. We really appreciate that. I think she was, Deb S, if I remember correctly, was close to 500 subscribers recently. Is that right? Am I getting the right person?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure how close I know at one point she was getting close. I don't know if she hit it. She's hilarious. So
yeah, she is. Let me just grab her link real quick. Yeah, she's at 482 right now. So if we can, let's get her closer to 500.
They call her Giggles for a reason, because she's always giggling. So
yeah, she has a fun channel. I don't get over there as often as I'd like to, but that's the case with everybody, unfortunately.
She gets me through my Friday afternoons when I'm at work. I put her on in the background and pretend I'm sewing and not working.
There you go. Yeah.
While I work.
There you go. Nikki says Paducah's less than 5 hours. Yeah, I was like 4 hours away from Paducah 2 years ago when I went to Louisville, but I'd already driven 11 hours the previous day, and I was like, do I really want to drive another 4 hours each way round trip to go to the museum? And I decided against it because I figured I'll go back that way again one day. So, do I regret that decision? A little bit, but at the time I was very happy. So, she's doing a solo along right now, Winter Kisses. I'm going to have to go check that out because I need a winter wall hanging for the house. Amanda keeps telling me I need to, she'd like me to make one. So I might have to go check that out. Although I've been very tempted just to do the February gnome, the Valentine's Day one and just hang that up early. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens there. Anyway, so.
And I know you had Kathy, was it last week? Kathy from Yoga and Quilts on?
That was like a month or two ago. Last week I had Danny from So Not an Expert. Yeah, we had Kathy. Yes. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Kathy, let's put her in because
she just posted her first video.
Yes, she did.
I had a feeling you wouldn't mind if go check her out.
Hang on, I don't have a link for her yet because
Yoga and Quilts. If you just search Yoga and Quilts, it'll pop up because I searched for it yesterday.
There it is.
But she has an interesting perspective of blending yoga and quilting. So
let's grab Kathy's information.
And it's always tough posting that first YouTube video. It's always very, very tough.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. I really, that's hitting the record button is tough, but hitting the publish and putting it out there
way tougher.
Yeah, I still remember that day and thinking, will anyone ever watch this? So, all right, so that's Kathy. We'll have to put.
There it is, yoga.
Yeah, yoga and quilts. Because, we already have a Kathy from my hobby home. So I'm going to have to put. Let me do this now before I forget. So, Kathy, I'm going to put you under exclamation point yoga.
Yeah, it looks well. Unless that your Deb put exclamation point yoga in and the channel popped up. Did you already do it, or is that weird timing?
I just put the.
Oh,
since it already exists. Hang on.
Yeah, you already did. Deb knew. She's already got it in the chat. So.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't realize I did that already.
Look at you. You have the same thought twice in a row doing it under yoga.
Yeah. So there you go.
So.
Oh, okay. Amanda says Kathy is a doll. She was on my live Zoom New Year's Eve and did a little yoga session for us. It was amazing. Yeah, the video was great. If you've ever been interested in yoga and want to know like how to do some basic steps and that sort of thing there, she does a wonderful job on it. It was well worth watching.
I can't wait to see the quilt come together. I don't know if I'll be bending quite like she did, but I will be interested in how the quilt shakes out. Maybe I'll try.
Yeah, so it looks like right now she has 15 subscribers. Well, now be 16, so I didn't realize I wasn't subscribed. So yeah, let's see if we can get her up a little closer to 50 or 100, and then we'll see if we can get Deb S to 500. That'll be a lot of fun there as well. She says, partner and I are shouting yay over here. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you for reminding me about that. So
yeah, it was a great editing in there too. It was
she did a wonderful job of her video. Please go watch the video. It's a really neat, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Kathy comes up with. I said, yeah, she was on here with me a few months ago.
God,
let me just see.
I'm like delusional. Yeah. I thought that was like really recently. I'm like,
let's go see.
I've lost track of time and space. I'm just in survival mode now, but
she on with me October 11th.
Oh my God, I thought it was like 2 weeks ago.
So 2 months ago. So yeah,
2 weeks, in the 2 months. What's time really?
So there you go. All right, so what have we got going on? Okay, so we got to say goodbye in just a few minutes. But at 10 o'clock, you can go over and visit Miss Donnell. She always has a lot of fun. I don't know if she has a guest today or not. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. At 11, I think Russ is back from his retreat, so you can go hang out with him, and he can tell you all about the retreat. He sent me a fun photo the other day of him at the retreat. It was really, really neat. He'll have to explain that one to you. But yeah, he's always a lot of fun. Mom and Pop Quilt Shop will be later on. I think they normally go around 1 p.m. And then Miss Katie will be on at 4, and she's always well worth watching there as well. So Lots of quilty goodness to hang out with. Go check them all out. Tell them I sent you. Tell them Sean said hi, because usually I'm out and about. I don't get to catch them live, unfortunately, a lot of the times, because as much as I'd like to stay home and hang out and just sew all day, the girls like to go out and do stuff. So, you know, out and about we go. So I get to hang out for a little bit. I think we're going to take them. They got to go shopping and spend, you know, help stimulate the American economy later on. I'm going to drop them off and go do a couple, go run some errands. So that'll be fun. So do you have anything coming up in your channel in the near future you'd like to tell everybody about? Are we resuming the podcast soon? Are we doing any lives soon?
So yeah, we got some stuff going on. So Monday, I'm hoping that my podcast will be back with kind of setting my 2026 goals. And then I am thinking about doing a monthly live or bringing back lives here in January to maybe start working on that legit kit or other whips I've got in process, because in my like Clubhouse membership, which we're doing a whip challenge, so you fill out a form, and if you finish any of your whips, you get entered into a drawing for a prize. That's my latest video. If that sounds enticing to you, you can go watch it. It has all the details. Yeah, so I think my weekly podcast will be back, hopefully. Some lives periodically, because I do miss them. And I think being here today showed me how much I do miss being live. I love chatting with you guys. And so, yeah, and then hopefully I'm starting a tradition with a twist series where I'm taking traditional blocks and putting my twist on them. And the first block of that will be live this month as well. So just some sewing, hanging out, trying to get my stuff together.
Lots of good stuff for you to check out. So yeah, definitely duck over to Tasha's channel. I've put it in. It's in. If you're watching the replay, it's in the description. If you're in the live chat, I'm just putting it in here as well. You can always put !guest. I always put the current guest up there each week just to make life a lot easier for folks. So, and then for me, I'll be back tomorrow morning. We'll have my podcast as per usual, and then I'll also be live at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning over on Katie's channel. We're going to be working on. I think I'm working on the courthouse steps. I think we're doing the Rising Star Riser. I can never remember the name of the project. I know what we're making, so that's the main thing. So that's what I have going on. I hope to get a year in review video out in the next week or so. We'll have to see how things go. I'm still just trying to recover from the holidays, so we'll have to see how that goes. It may just become part of a podcast one day. You never know. So thank you all for subscribing over at Cappy's channel and Deves and everybody else. It's always good to see everyone support all the other content creators. Star Climber, thank you for that, Deves. I just can never remember the name of that project. There's two different patterns. There's two different blocks we're using, so I just remember it by the courthouse steps and the woven stars. Katie always remembers the name of it. She's like, Sean, I've told you 100 times what the name of it is. I'm like, you have to tell me 255 times.
In and out. Names. See? Quilt and block names, people names, in and out.
Yeah, in and out, in here, out there. So, it is what it is. So, but yeah, definitely come over and check us out tomorrow morning over on Katie's channel. We have a lot of fun. We always enjoy hanging out together. So that'd be fun too. And then you will have our podcast as well. So with that, we are going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining in. If you've been watching this to the end, hit the like button on the way out. If you enjoyed it, if you didn't like it, hit the dislike button on the way out too. That's fine. That still is positive feedback for us. Although I prefer if you didn't hit the dislike button. But if you didn't like it, just do it on the way out. It's fine. No problem. I hope you all have a great day. Happy sewing, and we'll see you all in the next one.